Do you suck at MLB The Show? Is this you when playing ranked seasons? Well, it's because you're using the wrong players. Let's take a deep dive in Season 2 at the best cards ranked on a tier list. Let me know in the comment section who's your favorite surprise cards out of Season 2. Leave a like if you guys do enjoy the content. Subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. Alrighty, let's go through every single position in the game. Now, we're later on in Season 2, right? So we probably have some better cards. Most people aren't going to be rocking golds out there. Also, disclaimer, I'm not really going to factor in captains. In some cases, I will regard a player higher if they fit a multitude of captains, but as I always say, I'm not your mother. I don't know what captains you run. If you want to see a video on what the best captains are, we can do that. But let's go towards the backstops, the best catchers in the game. These guys are just here for fun, C tier. For the most part, I try and go through and take a look at who's actually being used, and those guys make it on the tier list, and that's how I come up with some miracle cutoff. So B tier is where you finally might see some guys that you would actually see online for the most part. You've got this new Del Castillo for the Diamondbacks. Honestly, a pretty good catcher. Otherwise, not a ton of really usable cards, of course. I think A tier is when we start to get to some of the better ones. Again, wild cards are not included. I know a ton of people use the Adley Rutschman, the Jorge Posada, for example. At A tier, Carlos Delgado. He can play catcher. Not very well, but I think you can get by. Honestly, I think block and arm are the only two stats that matter for catchers. Fielding, who cares? I have not seen one example where it makes a discernible difference. Now, speed in the case of a Harry Ford, and especially when he is, I think, the only catcher that fits Corbin Carroll's theme team, that is definitely a luxury. This Ethan Salas is really good defensively too. Yasmani Grandal, you know how good he is. But when it comes down to it, S tier. And again, guys, these are ranked in no particular order on their own tier. This is through Show Zone, and they automatically jumble up like a failing teary-eyed Carney trying to make a juggling career. It's not good. I don't think that Gary Sanchez is better than Mauer, but those guys are on S tier again. Remember that Gary Sanchez is one of the very few catchers with the catcher pop time quirk in the game, which makes him oh so valuable. So that's my catcher tier list. Let's move on to first base. And of course, there's a ton of options here where you'll see even like 95s, 96s be at D tier. And again, I think that just speaks to how deep this position is. At C tier, even Alec Boehm or Charlie Condon. Now, a guy like Boehm with low defense, I'll probably make a video talking about just how much each individual stat matters, especially on a position by position basis, because fielding for first base really only matters on scoops in the dirt. If it's a yellow throw, the higher fielding, the more likelihood that they're going to pick that out of the mud. And guys like Alec Boehm with 60 are not going to fare too well. So C tier, there's some 99s here, but again, it's such a deep position. You look at B tier where we've got guys like Anthony Santander, the new Rod Carew. There's really good ones. John Kruk, the new 99 Jake Berger. There's so many good cards in the game at this point where, yeah, there's going to be some high overall stuck in some of these tiers. Move on to A tier. This Tyler Fitzgerald, you'll see him on almost every position of the game. He is wonderful. He is so good. Again, Joe Mauer, Josh Gibson, those two are back, but they don't hit quite as well as some of the first basemen. They're more valuable because they play catcher where there's not a lot of great options. Rafi Devers, that new 99, love that card. One of my favorite swings in the game. Todd Helton, that card is slept on for sure. More people should give him a shot. 99 Vladdy Jr. in the Player of the Month pack as well is pretty damn good. But moving on to S tier, we've got some familiar faces, right? Frank Thomas, Babe Ruth. We know that they're going to be here. Buck Leonard, that's one of the best cards in the game. He plays a variety of positions, has great defense, speed, and some of the best hitting attributes in the game. He has no quirks, but I don't think he needs them. Absolute butter. Crisco type swing. It's so smooth. Ernie Banks, the core series, awesome card right there as well. Joey Votto, he's only going to be on the first base side of the tier list. That card is really good. which you might not know because Votto typically hasn't gotten the craziest cards in MLB The Show, but that one is excellent. And then at Tony the Tiger, Tony Clark, switch hitting option at first. Love him. Moving on to second base with, once again, we're pretty deep at that position too. A lot of guys fit those secondaries, and we've even got a 99 this Bryson Stott. I think it's one of the worst 99s in the game. Shoot me. Here we go, C tier, Alfonso Soriano. I wish he got secondaries on his cards. It's a shame. I'm actually very surprised that they didn't try and milk the udders of Yankee fans to make like an insane 99 Jazz and make them a chase pack, but instead they opted for a mid card and an expensive pack, so pretty much nobody's used that card. The Josh Smith, again, multi-positional darling. You're going to see him a lot. Also the same with a lot of those tops now, like DeZenzo for the Astros and Willie Castro for my sweet Minnesota Twins. B tier, we got Brooks Robinson, who this time around, they gave him almost every secondary position in the game. Problem is, I hate his swing. I can't do it. Tatis, again, super utility man. Jose Ramirez, love that card. He's got low defense, but if you're looking for pure hitting or a potential DH using a switch hitter team, he's awesome. You've got A tier, this Carson Williams. Yeah, the Rays have the #1 farm system in baseball. You'll see a couple of those pipeline cards for them alongside Junior Caminero, who just got called up recently. This Nick Sogard, excellent card. He's a switch hitter, has a ton of contact, really good swing. I love that card for Boston. You've got Xavier Edwards, another switch hitting option. Tony Stone, she's really good. She's got a great swing with maxed out contact. The ball doesn't, really carry that far. She's still trying to, break the glass ceiling, I suppose. Hit it out of the stadium is what I mean by that. But S tier, we've got Francisco Lindor. They really messed up with the 95. They made a hell of a card with that 99. Player of the Month, Francisco Lindor. We've got Rap Dixon. The card art is S+ tier. The card, just S tier. Really good stuff at second base. Rich Aurelia, surprise new legend this year. He's really fun. His cards have always been great. Tim Raines, Travis Bazzana, and Tyler Fitzgerald. There's tons of great options at second base. Moving on to third base, where once again we've got that Bryson Stott and Jazz Chisholm. Again, I just think they're kind of undershoots of what they could have been, especially because Bryson Stott, I think it might have been the second Lightning card where he was eligible and he was so good during that time, but they opted for, I think they went Mookie Betts or something, and we ended up not getting a crazy good stock card because he was on a hell of a run. Same as Alec Bohm, which he did get a couple nice cards. He's there in C tier alongside Aiden Miller. A lot of Phillies in this tier for no particular reason. That's just where the cookie crumbles. B tier, we've got Ryan Sandberg, which honestly, I probably could have given even a bit more love. This is the best Rhino card that we've gotten to date. He's honestly pretty damn solid. Once again, you see a lot of multi-positional guys. Eugenio Suarez, you see that moonshot retread. He's back. He's good. He's just boring, and that's fine. I think that's how we feel about a lot of legends that are in the game currently. It's like, I'm happy that we have you, Johnny Bench, Michael Young, Orlando Cepeda, but I'm kind of sick of you, and I wish we had more options than just you. Don't take it personally. Bobby Witt Jr., you'll see him on S tier at another position. He's got really low defense, so the secondary demotion on those levels is definitely crucial to him. Justin Turner there for the first time. Nice card. Always got a good righty swing. Jim Thome, he can play third base on that card. Not too bad at all. Then once again, see a couple familiar faces moving on up to S tier. Adrian Beltre, again, brand new legend this year. I don't love his swing. I know a lot of people feel the same, but the attributes don't lie. He should be really good, maybe in better hands, I suppose. Cal Ripken Jr., honestly, a really fun card. He's good, and you'll see him once again at shortstop there too. Chipper Jones, he's S tier. You didn't have to click on the video to understand that. Once again, Core Series Ernie, and then Lindor once again. That is the third base list. Let's move on to shortstop, where once again we've got Bryson Stott, not too high up there. I promise I like Bryson Stott. I just had like a 20-second segment vouching that he could have got a better card earlier on in the year. B tier, once again, we've got guys. You see Ellie De La Cruz, the 95 overall that came out. This Zach Neto, pretty good for a Topps Now card. If you're running an Angels theme team, definitely make sure to check him out. He's pretty fun. A tier, we've got Brandon Crawford, brand new-ish card that came out not too long ago. Excellent swing, had some fun options last year. You see S tier, a little sneak peek. That's Bobby Witt Jr. He's only got like 70 fielding, so Silver Shield, not good, but good enough for this intents and purpose. And the only new name you're going to see here is Derek Jeter. Now, I will say Jeter and anybody with really high fielding, because yes, they did decide to give Jeter like maxed out fielding. I know not everybody's psyched about that. Yeah, if you looked up Fangraphs chart on advanced analytics, you would say, is that correct? I don't know. It's a video game. Have some fun. But a lot of guys, shortstop primaries with no secondaries, like Jimmy Rollins, you can put him at a secondary, like center field in Jimmy's case, or for Jeter, second base, and they're going to play just fine. The out of position, you don't get worse animations, but they do play like that rating. So whatever they are, 80 fielding or whatnot, not the 95 they were, but still pretty effective. Moving on to the outfield, where we have more players than God intended here. At D tier, you see a couple guys. Once again, I don't think we're going to see too many people running these outside of a theme team. But again, outfield, I got to make it very clear, because there's a lot of people that don't understand. I care about defense. You know, I don't play at Shieldwoods. I don't play at Costco where it's 270 to the poles. My outfielders have to run a little bit. And if you're Carlos Delgado, if you've got 20 speed, if you've got cankles and have a hard time moving your feet, I'm not going to watch you. And that's going to demote where you are. So you're going to notice guys with shitty speed and poor fielding, they're going to get hit hard on this list. There we go. You understand now. Also, reaction is a huge important stat for outfielders. I want to make that clear too. That certainly affects my rankings. So you see B tier and C tier pretty in depth. You see a lot of different guys out there. Wyatt Langford's one that I really wanted to like more. I just couldn't quite get a swing down, which was unfortunate. My Trout, 99 overall. I don't know, he came out at a weird time, like he was the ranked season reward. I never got a chance to use him. The attributes look kind of what you'd expect from a sub-99 Trout card, but I don't know. They were just putting out a bunch of 99s at the time, and I feel like that Trout didn't get too much shine. The Brent Rooker, exceptional hitter. He just can't play defense whatsoever. This Anthony Santander is super fun for sure for the switch hitter team. Looking at A tier, you've got that Yordan Alvarez, which was one of the guys I was talking about in terms of can't field. It's a cycle card. His speed's like 65, still can't play the field. He's bad out there. Ohtani's got speed, but he doesn't have reaction. That's something I think you saw with Buxton. His reaction ratings were lower. He might have max speed, and the 99 speed's going to help him make up for those poor reactions, but the best of the best, like a Jarren Duran, if you want a pure defensive outfielder, that's who you get. Ohtani's playable. You just have to remember there is still repercussions for putting him out there. The Tony Gwynn is honestly a really fun card, has a really smooth swing to him. Just not a whole lot of power, but come to expect that with the Tony Gwynn card. Otherwise, Teoscar Hernandez, he's fun. Steve Finley's got one of the best wings in the game. James Wood, love that card too. Moving on to S tier, we have a lot of options. You have 3 outfielders, so there's going to be a lot of S tier. Aaron Judge. I would not play him in center field like his card states. I would put him at the corners or the DH slot, but he's probably one of the best hitters in the game. Although I know a lot of people don't love the tall drinks of water at 6'7". I got Babe Ruth and Bernie Williams, 3 Yankee outfielders in S tier. Wow, I wonder what theme team's the best this year. This Lightning Brenton Doyle, I was really surprised by. I've used to swing in Rocky's franchise, which I'm doing. He's fun. He's lots of fun to use. This Dylan Cruz, another Pipeline Series player for the Nationals, really good. He was just in a pack recently. Giancarlo Stanton from the action figure collection, love that card. He's super good. Juan Soto, probably my favorite swing in all of MLB The Show 24. And that's saying a lot because Ken Griffey Jr. is right next to him. There's so many good outfielders, you really can't go wrong. But here's where you could go wrong with the pitchers, because overalls don't matter that much. Attributes do matter, but a lot of it is the pitch mix, at least until the show fixes their game and has an update for the first time in 11 years. Like 99 Blake Snell. He threw a no-hitter, but I don't think you're going to be doing that against another human because the pitch mix on that card is just not very good. It's not conducive to being effective online against other humans. Same thing as Chase Burns. He's got Outlier, which is good. Hunter Green actually does not have Outlier, I don't think. It kind of makes me want to vomit thinking about a Hunter Green card without 104, 105 velocity with Outlier, but is what it is. Those cards are high overall, same as Cags, Vita Blue. They just don't have the pitch mix that works online, and they get kind of pieced up. They get hit around when you try and use them. Babe Ruth, maybe I'm missing something. I think he's very easy to hit. That's just me. This Dylan Cease, I was almost considering putting him in A tier. I kind of like that card. We've got Spencer Arrighetti. He's cool. He's fun. I know he's in a pack. Probably nobody's going to use him, but give him a shot maybe. This Max Scherzer, once again from the action figure collection, pretty solid. If you want a fun pitcher to use, Lance Lynn. He's always interesting. He's got pretty high velo. He's got a fun sinker cutter combo to him. You've got Robin Roberts, Roy Oswalt, a couple more action figure cards. Jose Mendez and Bill Foster, two pretty good of the Negro League legends, but I think we can do better because Leon Day and Andy Cooper are pretty damn solid. I like those two a lot. They're pretty fun to use online. A lot of the Negro League legends tend to have kind of funky pitch mixes, and they double as two-way players. I just wish they put out a captain for them. I think that would be pretty neat. Bob Feller, always good at the game, same as Greg Maddux. Hagen Smith, really underrated. This 97 overall draft card, pretty damn good. Michael King, also, he was a pack POTM card, kind of flew under the radar. He is super effective. Paul Skeens is maybe the most popular pitcher you'll see online. He can be good. He's got velocity. They changed his pitch mix from earlier on in the year. He isn't quite as good as he once was, but still pretty damn good. Then S tier. I'm going to put four guys up there from my experience pitching with them and hitting against them. These guys are tough to hit and easy to pitch with. Bob Gibson, I don't think he's quite as good as he was last year in MLB 23. I had a bit more easier time piecing him up, but still effective. Chris Sale, I think this is the best Chris Sale card to date. He's super good. He's really, really fun. Johan Santana, obviously, is going to be here. His 90 was incredible, and his 99 is even better. Then Roy Halladay, honestly, might have my pick for the favorite pitcher in all of MLB 24 between Season 1 and Season 2 to this point. He's so tough to hit. Oh, my God. He's deceptive. He throws everything for strikes. He's got good break. And even on this card, a bit higher velo. Still not going to break the radar gun, but pretty fun. And then we're looking at righty relievers, where relief pitching has been a little bit slow so far in Season 2 for whatever reason. C tier, I see him online. I don't think they're very good. I don't know why Kyle Hendricks is there. He's not a relief pitcher. But we'll just say he is, right? Kirby Yates at C tier. I see him occasionally, same as Mason Miller and Helsley. I think they're easy to hit. Yes, Ryan and Mason have velocity, but they don't have much outside of that. B tier, Ben Joyce. This is David Robertson, the milestone card from the mini seasons recently. He's honestly pretty good and pretty underrated. Check him out. Emmanuel Clase. Some people love him. Some people hate him. I feel like if he's in the right hands, he can be good, but he's got to be in the right hands. Very, very important. A tier. Lee Smith was the most difficult pitcher for me to read throughout the first month of Season 2, probably. He's so good and fires the ball too. He's big old frame, kind of like Felix Bautista. We call him Mandingo. He's tough, and he's going to force himself upon you. Rob Nen, pretty good, same as Bob Suarez and Percival. Troy's got some really tough to hit differentials on pitch speeds, which is good. I think a lot of people noticed that within one of the extreme moment challenges. And then Raleigh Fingers and Hoffman, these two are no strangers to the S tier. They are really good. Raleigh Fingers, consistently one of my favorite relievers in the game. Then finally, the lefty slot. Lefty relievers, which there is almost none in the game. Like, there's a couple more, but there's 2 iterations of Tanner Scott. There's the Live Series Matt Strom, and I think there's one other duplicate, but there's essentially no diamond lefties in the game, which is really weird. So I put Danny Columbi there for fun. I think he's good. He was good in Battle Royale for me. Andrew Miller and Taylor Rogers on B tier, Tanner Scott and Strom in A, and then Billy Wagner at S. I mean, it's tough. Everybody uses the switch hitter team anyway, so it doesn't really matter really if you have the handedness or not, because you won't. Your opponent will if they have switch hitters. But there we go. That's the tier list for Season 2. Season 3 of MLB The Show 24 is coming very soon, and we'll probably circle back a little after that to talk about how to get the best start and the best team to begin the final restricted season of the year. Let me know where I went right, where I went wrong. If you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like down below, and thank you for watching.